Hey guys, it's Edwin here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic year. The year I started. A few weeks ago, sometime I had a short break. I love football. I have passion for football right from my days in secondary school. So I went out, had a short break to, watch AFCON Cup of Nations that was just completed in Morocco, and I also brought some of the matches to you guys. But we're back to migration. So today, I'll be telling you guys about a very important visa is called Visa 1482 Skills in Demand Visa. So, how is your plan going this year, guys? I hope you guys are doing fantastically well and then everything is going well. So, I know I've got a couple of questions from you guys about not getting application or not being invited. A lot of persons there. I understand because at the moment, I think a lot of people are actually, waiting to be invited. But the thing is, like I said, you just have to be prepared because someday one time you are going to be invited. Every one of us, we waited like this and it got to our turn. So all I'm saying is do not lose hope. All you need to do is just to spread your options. So that's why today we're talking about visa 482. So instead of you also waiting to be invited, so you can actually apply for the point migration visas like depending on your occupation, 189, 190, 491 visa. But this one is 482 visa, is employer sponsored visa. So this one is not point based. Basically, the employer needs to sponsor you to come to Australia to, work in your designated occupation, as a skilled worker here in Australia. So I'm going to take you through subclass visa 482, also known as skills in demand visa, and then you see if it is something you can do. But I have to state here before we continue that I'm not a immigration lawyer. Please use all information today as a general advice. If you need services of immigration lawyer, please find one in your country, someone reliable that can guide you through. So all information I'm providing you today are verifiable. As you can see, this is the front page of Australian immigration website. So you can actually go and then you get more information for yourself. So for A2 visa, there's basic eligibility. You have to be nominated for a skilled position by an approved sponsor. You need to have the right skill set to do the job, and you also need to meet relevant English language requirements. So this is kind of employer sponsored visa. So the employer is sponsoring you to come to Australia to work in your designated occupation. Please, we need to mention that here that you have to be nominated by the employer, you need to be sponsored, and then you have to come here and then, you know, through for A2 visa. There are various categories of this visa. You have the core skill stream, there is the specialist skill stream, there's the labor agreements stream, and then this one is subsequent entry, like you apply for, as a single applicant, and maybe your wife or husband did not join you, your family members, then you came alone. So you can actually decide to, much later when you've stabilized in the country to bring other family members in. So that is where this subsequent entrant section has to kick in. So for core, let's start with the core skill stream. So basically is a subset of visa 482, which is also known as skills in demand visa. So this visa allow you to stay here for up to 4 years. It is going to cost you around 3,210 Australian dollars to apply for this visa. So if we hit on the core skill stream, like if you hit on this page, you will see what it's all about. It tells you about the cost of the visa, the processing time. I just want to go to the eligibility because for me that is the most important thing. We want to double check because before you embark, like I said, some of these process are capital intensive, so you want to check the eligibility status before you embark on the process. So for 482 visa subset core skill stream. So we're looking at age. So if you come here and hit details, it will tell you there is no age requirement for this visa. So what this means that even if you're 45 years or less than 45 years, you can actually apply for this visa. That is fantastic for people that are above 45 years. So you can also go for this visa, but there are catch, there are other things, as far as this is concerned. The another thing is if you apply in Australia, you must hold like a substantive visa. But if you are overseas, this section is not for you basically. The next requirement is being nominated by approved sponsor. Like I said, is employer sponsored visa. So your sponsor, an employer here in Australia, need to nominate you and need to the Australian government need to approve that nomination for you to start this process, and then you have to work for your nominating employer. So that is very clear. So you also need to have relevant skills, qualification, employment, background to perform the occupation. Depending on your occupation, I know for pharmacists, you need to have skills, positive skills assessment for you to get onto this visa, and possibly have uh like a registration with APRA, which is like the health regulatory body here that regulates the works of healthcare professionals here in Australia. This one is very important. You need to have worked in your nominated occupation for at least a year. So if you are to be sponsored under 482 visa, you need to have minimum of 1 year experience in your occupation. So for instance, a pharmacist, I know some people have asked me this question, please, I've finished my I've not completed my internship. Can I start applying? So I think it's recommended for you to get registered. If you're a pharmacist, get registered in the professional body, and then also try to have at least a year experience. That is really going to help you if you want to go through this pathway. Then you need to have positive skills assessment. So depending on your occupation, the various assessing bodies, most occupation here are being assessed by vet assess for pharmacists. I know the assessing body for pharmacists is like the Australian Pharmacy Council. Once you pass the exam, you automatically have or you will get your positive skills assessment in a matter of a week or 2 weeks. Then you also need to provide health insurance, meet health requirement, meet the character requirement, and then not have contravene paying for sponsors. Yeah. Then one important part again is English language requirement. I know some people don't like English language. You don't want to write, but as far as Australia is concerned, you're coming for most of the visa categories. You need to have evidence of English language test. So if you are coming for 482 visa under the core skill stream, so if we hit English language proficiency, it's going to take you to this place and you have exemptions. Maybe you're a passport holder from Canada, New Zealand, Republic of Ireland, UK, United States of America. You don't need to worry yourself because the English language is comparable to what is obtainable here in Australia. How fantastic that is. Or if you're not from any of these countries and you don't meet other exemption requirement, then you need to sit for English language test, man. It's not hard, guys. You just need to prepare. And these are the options of the English language test you have to sit for. You have, I think there's a new one. It's called Canadian English Language Proficiency Index Program. General. One thing with Australia, there are a lot and lot of English language options that you can actually sit for you to, get into the program as far as your visa application is concerned. And there is also IF. So if you come to IF academics, you have listening, reading, writing, everything stands at 5 points. The same with the general training for IELTS. And then I think another popular one here is PTE. So you need 33, 36, 39, 28. So how fantastic. So the English language requirement is not even that big. But like I said, this is not the only option if you want to come to Australia. 482 visa is one of the options. If you want to explore other options, then you need to score high. If you are a healthcare professional and you need to get registered with APRA, then this language score is below the requirement because you need to meet the competent level. For IELTS, you need to have at least 7 across the band. For PTE, you were looking at 65 across the band for you to be registered with the body. And if you're registered with the body, I don't think you need to show evidence of your English language requirement. Even if they ask you to do that, you've already done it, and then all you need to do is just to give them the paper evidence. So that is the English language requirement as far as this visa is concerned. How interesting that is, guys. So that is for the core stream, the core skill streams. Like I said, there are other streams under the 482 visa. Let's try the other ones as well. Skills in demand visa. So then you come to the specialist skills stream. I'm sorry, before I go, yes, the specialist skills stream is also under the 482 visa. If we hit on it, then it will tell you what the requirements are. So let's come down to this page. So you'll see. So you must be nominated to work in an Australian, New Zealand classification occupation in major listed categories, specialist threshold. Yeah, you need to have at least 1 year experience, relevant skills assessment, which is basically the same thing as the one we read before. You also need to have English language requirement. And there's something they say here that you have to meet a salary that meets the specialist skills income threshold. I know some people might ask, how do you know if my occupation is under the core skill stream or the specialist? So if we hit here, Australian occupation list, not this one, I think it's going to be the other one. Like if you go to, just like you in my previous video, the um, scale occupation list, I'll take you to this page. Let's come here and then we hit the scale occupation list. So let's say for a general practitioner, I think general practitioner is already up here. And then you come down to this place. You're looking for 482 visa. So that means a general practitioner is under the core skill stream. How interesting that. So that's how you find the stream that you belong to. So if you come to, I'm going to leave the link in the description section. So if you come to this section, the skill occupation list, so you just type your occupation. Let's say you're a retail pharmacist. Retail pharmacist. So like it is a retail pharmacist, so you just type retail pharmacist, and then you hit search. And then when you come here, you will see that you just come down here and you see that retail pharmacist is under the core skill stream. So how interesting that is, guys. So that is how you see or you find out where your occupation belong to. And then this one is the labor agreement stream. So basically they're all the same. And then what for me, the take home as far as this visa is concerned is for you to know that you need English language requirement, you need positive skills assessment, you need a minimum of 1 year experience, and you also need to make reach the income threshold. So that one is not dependent on you, it's the sponsor, the employer that is going to sponsor is going to make sure that your salary is within the income threshold. Like if you come here and then scroll down, you will see about the income. If you, let's say if you hit like specialist skill stream and then come down to this stage, you come down here, you see where it said you have to also meet the specialist skills income threshold. So you are not the one to determine that. So your employer is going to make sure that your income is comparable or is within this range. So guys, 482 visa means employer sponsored visa. You have to find employer to sponsor you to come here. So why I said about this visa is very important because you don't want to keep all your egg in one basket. You need to spread the options. So while you're waiting for Western Australia, you're waiting for Queensland, you're waiting on federal sponsored visa 189, or you're waiting for the various states in Australia to invite you, you can also explore this option because it's a pathway to permanent residence. It's not a direct permanent residency visa. So um, look into this and see what you could do. If you're looking for job, you can go to seek Indeed and then look for employer in your occupation, look for job in your occupation, and then see if you can invite it for interview. And if you're invited, why not? Go for it instead of you having to wait. And when you are here, the good thing about this is that it doesn't lock you in. So you can also be on 482 visa and still receive invitation to apply for 190 visa. You can still receive invitation to apply for 189. You can receive invitation for 491, as the case may be. So please look into this option and see if it is what you can explore. I know the competition is very much this time, but you really need to be you really need to be serious about this and in terms of looking for job. Uh, Please spread all the option, look for all the job advert in various online platforms, and hopefully you will get one this financial year. I wish you all the best in your application in Australia, and please feel free to reach out to me in my social media handles, my email address. I'm more than happy to answer your questions. So, like I said, all information here are verifiable, and I'm going to add the links of this video to the links I mentioned. I'm going to add it in the description section of this video. So feel free, guys. I'm going to see you in my next video. Until then, do have a wonderful day. Bye bye. It's Edwin.